And I failed a lot of things. I failed miserably, like embarrassing type stuff. We're at the Men's Summit 2018. It's day one. Let's get it. Purpose playbook.
I can probably find it, like locate it real quick. Yeah. That's the black one, right? Yes. Okay.
Like you not over here. You come over here.
Hey, this is my friend Sean.
How you doing, Sean?
It's been like
I know.
years.
Welcome home.
Thank you
How
so
are
much.
you?
This is our Yeah, this is my friend's company right here. Caution 2A, Purpose Playbook. Tomorrow, let's get it. What's
up, man?
Good to see you. It's been a minute.
too, man.
Yeah, this is my friend Sean.
I'm Sean.
Nice to meet you with me today. All right, the next show is just filming.
We're all out right now. All the ones with the crepe soul are sold out. Really? Yeah.
So what's the difference? Like obviously there's a million different qualities.
So those are gonna be more comfortable, like initially.
It's been so good. Like I was at UNT yesterday for worship, and I met some really cool people that I'm gonna come and like team up with again for that stop. They had a lot of connections, so it's just like trying to take this message of God's purpose for your life all around the world. That's what God's trying to do.
That's awesome, man.
This is awesome. Obviously, it's more than but we have one in Dallas, Bishop Arts on Saturday night. So that'll be our first time.
What is that?
So there's a story.
In times, like over the course of a few years, like one of the first things that I ever said that really stuck, it was, I think I was a junior in high school, and said you have to refuse to let the misfortune of your past determine the fortune of your future. And I think there's a lot of things like that that I've said so many times, heard so many times, that it kind of just sticks. And I think a lot of people, it's like the reason that people are so afraid of public speaking. If I were to ask you to talk about a subject that you know more than anything else, that'd be easy for you. And so for me, this is stuff that I've kind of filled my mind with. The Bible says that the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. So everything that's coming out is just stuff that I put in. And like, there's like this picture of perfection, and that's hard to relate to. And so I think what I want to be as a speaker, as a motivator, as a voice of like inspiration to this generation, is someone who's like, I'm not just talking about living my dream, but you're inspired to live yours because you actually see me doing it. Yeah. And that's what I think. That's why I think I have so much influence already, but also what I think is going to bring even more. That this isn't me just reading a book and then telling you the synopsis of the book that I read. This is like my life, like, and that's what I want to bring you guys into. So.
How you doing? You got your tickets?
This is a church of 40,000 people. But when a door that God opens for you opens, no man can shut that. And so we got to learn to walk through those doors with boldness, not timidity, not fear, not I'm not supposed to be here, I'm too young, or anything like that. Don't worry about that. If God opens the door, he'll make a table before you in the presence of your enemies, and no one can stop that. So.
You're in, guys. Great.
All right, purpose game. This is the real purpose. All right, purpose game. Listen, Steph Curry with the shot, Kobe with the three, about to put up 30 points in this game.
All games, they got boxing up there. Oh, they got trapeze, all these guys.
44 points. You know what it is. Purpose Gang.
Like what was your drive behind that?
Behind the Purpose Playbook? So I think the biggest drive for me is that I think all of us, we have, God places triggers inside of us, like holy discontents toward things that we're supposed to do something about. For me, especially being on like a college campus, I've talked to so many kids who like with pain in their eyes say the words like, I don't know my purpose is. And I don't think it's just a college problem, it's something that so many people have. And then other people, because they don't know their purpose and because they don't feel they have one, some people go so far as they even take their lives. Like that. And that pains me, that hurts me. Even in the way that perhaps he doesn't to somebody else. And so the playbook is just one of many elements that I've gone after to push this message of purpose. It's that, I've done podcasts, I've done like different meetings on my campuses, stuff like that. But the book was just one of those avenues that was really a place, and this is the key, to bring every single thing I know about it together in one place. Packed it all in that book. Yeah, so that's what it's all for.
I appreciate it, man. I look forward to hearing you tomorrow.
Dude, I'm gonna give it everything I have. I was planning for it last night, and I just like realized as I was looking over my notes, like never have I given a talk before that encompassed as much as I'm gonna give, as much value as I'm gonna give tomorrow. Haven't seen that this stuff is possible, like that you really can get your phone out, this phone that has more technology than NASA had when they sent people to the moon for the first time, and you can change lives with it, you can make money with it, you can follow your purpose with it, you can make your dreams happen with it, all with this. Or you can use it and get distracted and just play Fortnite on your phone all day long. But I don't know though.
No shade at Fortnite, no shade.
Is not to be confused with laziness and apathy and passivity and things. Never in the Bible do you see people get blessed for being lazy. Like wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, but when God says go, you actually have to go. It's like knocking on a door and you got so used to knocking that when someone opens the door, you're sitting there with the door open, still knocking at air. That's what so many of us do with the dreams and the call in our life. God opened the door and you got so used to waiting that you're still waiting. Don't wait, step, go, now. We're not gonna lie about this, so one take water bottle flip.
All right, right here.
No, I got it, you gotta get it down here first. That's not fair, no one can get this. All right guys, Gateway Men's Summit. This is the first take. This is a men's summit, a church conference. We can't lie in church. You're good, you're good. One take only, water bottle flip.
Oh! All right, do it again. This is all edited.
All right, it was all edited. You know what it is, water bottle flip, men's summit, Gateway Church. Let's get it. You know how we do it over here, Purpose Gang Worldwide.
It is, man, it is. How you feeling?
Dude, I feel good. Like this is, show them again, dude, this is crazy.
And they're not here for Kyle, they're here for who? Who are they here for?
What's up?
They're not here for you though.
Not at all, they're here for Christ, man.
Yeah.
People who are hungry, these people could be anywhere right now. Anywhere in the world right now. They chose to be here. Let's get it. Let's point them where they got it.
This is so wild.
And he just says, prophesy to these dry bones. Prophesy to these dry bones. So Ezekiel prophesies to the dry bones. Then he says, prophesy to the wind. He prophesies to the wind and it breathes life into these men. And then he says, I want to read to you the last scripture of that story. Tonight, to do whatever you need to do in our lives to get our attention, to give us a new revelation of your love for us, to give us a new revelation of what it means to be a man that has risen again, but that we no longer be stuck in this grave, we no longer be stuck in these dry bones, but God, we would rise again, that in our lifetime, we will see a move in our lives and change our marriages, change our families, change our business, change our country, God. You're going to see a new revelation, God, sweep across the church. And Lord, I pray for the church to rise again. And everyone said,
Be free. Be free. Be, do, go, go, go. Be everything that God called you to do. Stay standing if you will, gentlemen. Stay standing if you will.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, good, bro. Yeah. We got here Wednesday, and I spoke last night to all the volunteers. Yeah, it was cool. You the man.
Like, for me, Biola was just the best option. It wasn't the perfect option. Like, even before I got there, I still had like doubts and stuff like that, but it was the best option out of the ones that were placed in front of me. And like, looking backward, the dots connecting is where I was supposed to be. Even if it was to bring me out to California, and I guess, of course, the people that I've met on campus, off campus. But things play out. People stress out about decisions like college as if you go one direction, God's going to be with you, and if you go another direction, he's not going to be with you. But I don't think that's the way that God works at all. But I do think, based on the options I had before me, that I made the right choice. So, yeah. Other people's thinking, and dogma is just saying this is the way that it's always been, so that's the way it's always going to be. But when you decide to challenge the status quo and say, wait a minute, why couldn't I do this, write a book at 16, 17 years old and release 3 by 20? Like, why couldn't I do a speaking tour? I'm great, how are you?
Good, thank you. 1066.
Yes, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Like, it's like the why can't I? Like, why not?
Is there lemonade? Should I ketchup?
Yes. Do you want ketchup?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yeah, just like challenging things and being willing to fail. Like, I've succeeded at things before, and so people see that, and it's like, let's say there's like 3 big things I've succeeded at. Thank you. Let's say there's like 3 big things that I succeeded at. And so people are oftentimes like, oh, you did this. I know you because you wrote a book or you came to speak. Pretty good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, here's everything for you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, y'all. Good one.
Thank you. People can look at like 3 things and be like, oh, I know of you because you wrote a book. I know of you because you spoke here. I know of you because I heard you do a spoken word. Those are like 3 things that maybe have worked out. But like, oftentimes we don't try things because we think we're gonna fail. And we think that's gonna become like what we're identified as. But people don't remember the times you failed. As long as you don't let your failure be the last time that you tried. And I failed a lot of things. I failed miserably, like embarrassing type stuff. But like, I didn't stop there. And I think I was thinking about this the other day, that people, like, when they're talking about success and what's important, like, to succeed, they always talk about how like you got to be willing to fail and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean just fail then do the same thing again and fail. You got to make adjustments. Because if you think about a dream that you have, when you first have that dream, you're super excited, you're pumped up. And then when life hits you in the mouth and it doesn't work the way you thought it would, you start to get discouraged. But if you make adjustments, then you start to get your faith back. Then you start to get your hope back, because you realize, okay, I have this excitement and it didn't work out, but maybe it was just because this adjustment needed to be made. Listen, oftentimes, if 2 horses are in a horse race and they are running super duper fast and there's all this money on the line in a horse race, and one of the horses beats the other horse by this much, just by a nose, one horse is taking the prize money and the other one isn't. And in life, it's often not big steps and big things that we need to adjust and do differently to succeed in whatever goal it is that we have. It's often small things. And maybe you tried something 10 times and it was the 11th adjustment that would have worked, but you said, I failed 10 times. I gotta turn this in and say, like, I'm never gonna do anything with this. It's not gonna be anything. But listen, like, if it's worth it to you, if it's not, then quit. But if it's worth it to you, and if you know, like with my stuff, I don't have a plan B. There's not like another option, another route I can turn to or would turn to if this, whatever that I'm working on doesn't work out. There's no other option. And if that's the case for you, you'll find a way. They've always said, where there's a will, there's a way. And that stuff is true. That if you keep on persisting, like what can stop persistence? Either you're going to arrive at the dream you're trying to get to, or you're gonna die trying. Or you're gonna give up and quit. But the last option, that's up to you. quitting, giving up, deciding that the dream that you have isn't worth pursuing, that's up to you. And a lot of people, oh, I don't have time, there's this, and the other. You got 24 hours in a day. And unless you can tell me with an honest audit of your time that you're using every single minute of that time wisely, you're not procrastinating, not watching Netflix or playing Fortnite, then you can't really make the excuse of, I don't have this time or this resource, whatever. Like, all of us, Oprah Winfrey, President of the United States, or the janitor, the middle school across the street, 24 hours in a day. And if you like the way that things are going for you right now, then that's great. But if you don't complain about it, change it. Change something. Nothing changes unless something changes. And until you realize that, you're gonna be stuck in the same stuff with the same people in the same circle doing the same stuff. 5 years pass by and you're still in the same spot. Like, if the people that you're hanging around all the time are in the same place that they were in when you were 5 years younger, and you're following them, you gotta believe that the same thing is gonna happen to you unless you do something different. So if you don't wanna end up like a stereotype or a statistic of people in my family, people in my neighborhood, people that look like me, people that this, that, and the other, like, stop all that complaining, because that never got anybody anywhere. Change your mindset and decide, hey, I'm gonna make the adjustments necessary, and I'm gonna keep making adjustments until I get to where I'm trying to go. And there's really no secret to success, but that is necessary to succeed. Don't just fail and say, well, so-and-so self-help guru told me that you're gonna fail your way to success. Don't just fail, adjust, fail fast, adjust, fail, adjust. And one day you'll look up and you'll see yourself at success when you thought that it was just going to be something you arrived at on try number one. Not how it works. We're at the house. That's the word of the day, though. So how are we feeling this morning? Dude, we feel great. Day 2. Speaking today at 3:30 in a breakout session. And man, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So we've been praying for this, fasting for this. God's opened this door, and so we're gonna walk through it.
Man, La La Land, no thanks.
So we're actually gonna go to this east entrance, the east lobby entrance right here.
Okay. You right?
If you'll take me.
You got it. Hop on. Thanks, sir. Yeah, I spent 6 decades in California. So,
oh wow, that's awesome.
But mostly Northern California, Central California.
Okay.
Not big on La La Land.
No, I understand.
It's a very vulnerable thing to trust God with your life, with your family. Because as men, you know, we want to just have everything figured out, have everything under our control, and we want to understand everything. We want to know everything. Everything is better in His hands than mine. He's perfect. He loves us. He says His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, His ways are higher than our ways. That means that God worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all praise we could ever bring.
Lord, I thank you so much that I'm alive and I was destined for death, God, that you gave me life. And that through your passion, God, you found me. And so, Lord, I just pray right now. I just thank you so much that not only was he a recipient of passion, God, that he is so elected to you.
All right, you know what it is. Let's get it. 64. That's way better than yesterday. You put on my wall, like written there, like you never know how strong you are, and so being strong is the only choice you have. And like that's like even in the 6th grade connected with my spirit and pushed me and motivated. Most people, a lot of people can just see that and like, oh, that's a cool quote. But like, different people are triggered by different things. And that can really, someone can see something, especially in sports. You know that you're lifting and like someone says something or whatever, and like it's that extra push that you need. So.
My brother.
And that really falls into everything I do. Like the book that I wrote is about that. On my campus, I started something called the Power of Purpose. And we host these meetings and talk about these purpose questions and subjects that oftentimes don't get talked about. All my social media stuff is centered around purpose. Like that's my thing. And obviously there's other times where it's like kind of stuff branching off from that. But if I were to go speak at Gateway on Sunday, I'd talk about her. And I would feel that that's my assignment. I really think that's why it's so cool, man.
What do you do when God is using pain to push you and propel you and promote you to your purpose? Watch, but you wouldn't be able to see that for another 10 years because you were experiencing real pain in real time.
Good, super good friend of mine is in La Mirada. So.
Awesome, that's incredible. Yeah, Fullerton, I'm there all the time. So.
Yeah, that's so I moved here to Texas. So
awesome. Yeah, I've grown up here all my life. So.
Right, dude. That was good. Yeah, it's cool.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I do a lot in prisons, so you know, I'm trying to get them to see their purpose. Absolutely.
Yeah. And to see, like, I think especially back to the gifts thing, a lot of people, the school system in a lot of ways has made certain people, if you don't fit the mold, feel like if a man's gift makes room for you, that means if you don't think you have a gift, you feel there's no room for you.
Yeah.
If there's no room for you, you go to any and every other thing.
That's right. I always tell people, engage your world, and then God will show you what that gift is.
Yeah.
You got to engage your world,
That's
though.
good.
That, you know, and if you don't engage, you never get it.
Exactly.
You never see it.
Yeah. So I would never limit God to just the church building. That's what I would say.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
One more thing. I do a podcast, or I have in the past. It's one of those things. It's like
one of your projects.
It's a project thing, but it's like, man, I feel like sometimes I'm like wasting time because I got to do more important things.
I got one. Thank you.
My name's Mickey, like the mouse.
Okay. M-I-C.
K-E-Y. How old are you? You need to know how to.
I don't want to spell it wrong, and then some people have some fancy.
I can tell how old you are by how you spell Mickey.
How are you guys enjoying the summit so far?
Oh wow, yeah, it's incredible. I'm Rob.
So glad to hear that.
1B.
Go to Gateway?
No, I live in Tyler.
You live in Tyler? Oh, that's right.
That's not too bad.
So, and it may be this campus for all.
You know, he's given us
I mean,
a vision.
because they're about.
It's been leading up to today, and then we just knew in faith that God was going to reveal. You know, may not reveal everything, but He was going to start doing it.
I didn't have time to talk about it, but the last chapter in the book, it's called "Burn the Boats." And like, have you ever heard the story Cortez and his army? Like Aztec army, Cortez and his army, they don't have enough people. They're like all like freaking out, like, yo, like, we're gonna die here. We have families back there. And they get to the island, and Cortez just says like a few words. He says, "Burn the boats. If we're gonna make it back, it's gonna be a miracle." And so plan B, you go all in on plan A. And too many people, they miss plan A by 10% because they gave 90% to plan A and 10% to plan B. But if you bet on yourself and bet on the call of God in your life, like
into my life, like when I needed a leader, like someone.
Because he said y'all didn't really have like a youth pastor, right? It was just kind of like,
When I got there, we had a youth pastor, we had a coordinator, and we had an admin. And then literally within like 2 months, they all left. So we were literally like,
he's so
at a perfect time. No, he's amazing. But yeah, can I walk you back to this?
I have a lot of friends that go
to Oasis.
To Mosaic.
It's oh, that's what it is. Mosaic. Yeah, I call it Oasis. Where's Oasis?
It sounds familiar. All right. So, what are your final thoughts, dude? We just had the breakout session, packed, standing room only. talked about purpose all together, all around. Whole conference was super dope. One more session tonight, and yeah, to God be the glory. Purpose game. What the heck? Oh, where's the video screen?